What's good, YouTube land? In the last video, I did mention Neon gets an upgrade. And she deserved more. What I mean by that is her backstory gets revealed. And, well, she's dead. Basically, her father, who's this like the head of this massive corporation sponsoring the Desire Grand Prix, and she was. It's hard to wrap in my head. She got kidnapped as a very young child in a ransom demand, which her father tried to save her, and initially we're led to believe that he's saved her and they continue on with their life, but no, she was killed in that ransom gone bad kidnapping. And so he was so distraught, I guess, that he agreed to sponsor the Desire Grand Prix if they brought her back to life, basically. And they agreed. They brought her back to life at that age where she died, but with no memories of her previous years, only memories like going forward. And they wiped her mother's memory of it, so all her mother knew was that was her daughter. Doesn't really help the fact that she, hits her, abuses her a little bit, yells at her quite a bit for trying to run away from home. Doesn't really help that. So, further into the story, things get reversed. Like, people who were defeated are brought back, including very bad guys. The same person who abducted Neon before, does it again. Because apparently he also competed in the Desire Grand Prix. But this time her father wishes to save her himself, and Ace gives him the power to do that, thus creating the fantasy buckle. Oh, and also her father played the equivalent of the Time Force Quantum Ranger in Japan. He played Time Fire, a character who dies. But there is his rider form. I can't remember his name. So you get him on one side and Neon on the other, because he does end up using this power to save her, but gets badly injured and so has to spend time in the hospital. So Neon takes his ID core, because at that point in the story, her ID core had been destroyed. Michinaga, crushed it. So she couldn't become a rider, but she took his ID core, which looks cool. I like the... it's more of a bronze, in my opinion, than gold. But I can still believe it's gold. And, metallic blue. Since it's a theme. And she took his fantasy buckle and made a wish to re-enter the Desire Grand Prix, which turned his ID core into her ID core. So she ended up using fantasy for the rest of the season. And here's the fantasy buckle, which just got its own premium memorial release. God dang it. And I'm pretty sure it's a remold of the ninja buckle, because it has the spinning gimmick the ninja did. And, once you perfect a gimmick, why not re-release it many times? I like the color scheme. It has a, odd rattly feeling. It doesn't have the gloss kind of finish that the other buckles do. But that's probably why they put out a premium one that has a glossy finish and sound effects from both Neon and her father. Henshin! It spins pretty well. Like, it spins for quite a while, goes forwards and backwards, and yeah, pretty cool. I like the sound. Now, it's her Nago's final form, technically, because the only other one she uses is Beat. But in my head, she deserved like a full body suit, like everyone else got like a two-sided full suit. So if I were doing like a fantasy thing, I would totally, or like if they use her in a stage show, like in my head, fantasy would be Fantasy Beat. And Shin. Fantasy in and of itself doesn't really have like a weapon or anything associated with it. Although it does give Nago the ability to like kitty pride herself, like phase herself through objects whenever she sees fit. Like, it was very amusing that one of the other female characters, like the female enemy, she ended up like she was a sponsor of Michinaga, but she ended up feuding with Nago, I guess just because they were women, but also anytime somebody actually referred to her by her real age, she would get really pissy, as I guess most women do. You know, you don't ask a woman her age. That's not really has anything to do with this, but I find it amusing. So yeah, this is a cool buckle. I kind of wish I waited a little bit to get the premium one. I highly doubt I'm going to get the premium one at this point, but it's still alright for what it is now. Let's spin ourselves out of here. Oh no, I don't know what's going to happen, but until next time, keep it weird!